This is a very special day for us. We have a guest speaker / singer. I'm very protective of my space here. And I think only once, and I think it was you, Connie, that I was in Unity of Birmingham and asked you, but that's the only time, other than this Sunday in almost 3 years, that I've invited someone to stand in this very sacred place before you on Sunday, and I just didn't know who I wanted. We're in a very intense workshop here. We've got people from 12 states here that'll be back this afternoon to finish up 4 days of a very powerful workshop.
And it's great.
And so Connie's in the workshop. And I just wanted to maybe not have that on me to do this morning, and I just thought, who can I get? And I just went through all kinds of different people, and then I thought, well, I'll ask my heart. I'll ask my higher self. And who but just popped right into my mind was Lawrence. And I know Lawrence from my time at Unity of Charlotte when I was serving as the minister there of what did I do there? Education, that's right. And I learned to love him, and I love his spirit, and we're so honored to have him. So I'm going to turn this right over to him, and I know you're in for a treat and a joy, and I'd like for you to give him a nice hand of welcome to HeartLight Spiritual Center.
Lawrence, I turned that off. You'll have to turn it off.
Every day, in every way, everywhere, all the time, peace has power to prevail. Every day, in every way, everywhere, all the time, peace has the power to prevail. Oh, peace, peace, peace. I said peace. Peace has power to prevail. Take it away, Greg. Every day, in every way, everywhere, all the time, peace has power.
Peace has power.
Help me out, somebody. Peace has power.
Peace has power
to prevail.
to
Come on.
prevail.
Peace has power.
Peace has power
Prevail. Come
to
on, somebody.
prevail.
Peace has power.
Peace has to
That's just outstanding. I'm so glad you like the song. It's an original. And it's really great to have an opportunity to perform it for you on this great Father's Day. I'll always remember it. And I do want to take a moment, and I spoke with Reverend David before the service so that I could get his permission. And he told me anything good that I say is an echo of all the good he has been saying. And so in the light of this goodness, I want to give some praise and thanks to Greg James for being such a talent, such a skilled music director. He, as you know, has a loving heart and just loves being able to help us express ourselves through song. He's just a great man. Thank you, sir. He's been a personal blessing to me, and all of the different turns in my journey that involve music, I have been involving him, and he has come along each time. Even though, to him, I'm sure from time to time, he'd said to himself, now, how come Tolliver just stopped? But sometimes there's a turn, and sometimes a turn takes a while. I also just want to say a word about your minister here, your founding minister. I will refer to him in my formal remarks, and the reason is because I know him to be one of the greatest metaphysicians in the world. Yes, he understands the nature of the Creator. He understands how whole the Creator is everywhere at all times. He communicates it in song, in prayer, and in his messages. So I just want you to know that I know you have much to be thankful for. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm enjoying being up here with Paul Huff as well. I mean, this man has created more songs than he probably can count. But he's a terrific composer, and I've enjoyed performing with him from time to time through the years. And I do see many people here that I met at Unity of Charlotte, and it's a blessing to my heart to see you and to worship with you today. I do also want to acknowledge the presence of a gentleman who I met in South Carolina, in Columbia, back in 1969, I believe. When I went there from my graduate school at Columbia University, I went to teach at Benedict College. I immediately started looking around in 1969, if you just think what was going on. Everything was going on. It's just like 2020. I'm serious. And I started looking for activists, and I ran upon the preeminent activists in South Carolina. Redfern, Deuce Redfern, stand up. I'll give them your new title in a second. Redfern, thank you. I am so pleased to see him after many years. We did a lot of things. We stopped a lot of shows, and we started a lot of shows. And he is now Bishop Redfern, and he holds forth not only in Columbia, but internationally. He's got a mission that has taken him all over the world, and he's blessed me mightily by being present here today. So thank you, Redfern. And I want to continue what Connie did in terms of meditation, and if you will allow me, I want you just to go into that space once again. You know, all of you, that God expresses himself in and through each one of you. Wherever we find ourselves in this created universe, we are immersed in a powerful consciousness that is open, receptive, and responsive to our every thought, feeling, word, and action. It responds by reciprocally magnifying our beliefs and delivering our heart's desires. It is faithful to us. This receptivity and reciprocal response is the core of each of our freedom. With all of our hearts, we embrace this high consciousness of truth. And so it is. Amen. And I'm going to do something in public that I've never done before, but I'm going to do it because my heart is pulling this forth into the light. My father was and is my standard of faithfulness. For when he felt the call to become a preacher as an adult back in the early 50s, that call stuck with him for the rest of his life. He showed us faithfulness. He is a living example of faithfulness to me. And I just want to honor him in my life and my 7 brothers and sisters. It was his faith that kept all of us out of jail and kept all of us from starvation. Kept all of us on a straight and narrow path. And I am just as thankful as I can be that he was my father. His name was Reverend Jezreel Tolliver. And for those of you who do not know, Jezreel is the name of a valley in Israel, one that had been fought over for centuries. And it stands for a valley of peace. So, things have a way of coming around. I have been on a 9-year journey to deepen my understanding of peace. This year, I have realized a consciousness of being the change that I want to see. I am now, prepare yourself for this, a climate activist. I don't imagine I don't imagine many of you expected that to come out of my mouth. My weapon of choice is my enlightened consciousness of peace. Friends in faith, I have good news to share with you. Active, engaged people of faith are envisioning an earth at peace with itself. I'm reporting something to you. I'm not wishing it. I am telling you that all across the globe, people of faith are standing up and utilizing their faith to bring into realization a planet at peace with itself. We, because I'm one of them, are realizing a vision in which, and listen to this, the Earth's temperatures are falling. This is what we and our healthy Earth is experiencing. climate activists affirm that millions of us around the globe are experiencing this new peace story. In our vision, we are drawing unspecified energies and forces together. The law of attraction is at work through us to realize planetary peace. By virtue of your spiritual nature, you too are empowered to amplify Earth's peace. And Earth at peace is one whose temperatures are normal. Now, I don't want to be misunderstood. I'm talking about peace of this extraordinary planet. Peace between the peoples of this earth, now that's an entirely different story. God's got somebody else working on that. I ain't working on that. I'm working on something achievable. Y'all can do, somebody else can do this other part. We can fix this earth.
Yes, we can.
With our consciousness.
All right.
Because you know the power of a vision. You proclaim a vision every Sunday.
Absolutely, yes.
You know why you're proclaiming a vision every Sunday. Your vision of the planet needs to be held to your heart as steadfastly as your vision for this ministry. That's what I'm telling you. You're big enough to handle both jobs, so do it. That is what I am imploring you to do through these words today. Now, I'm not talking any craziness, just in case somebody wonders, you know, where did this dude come from? What's his stuff? Because I'm pleased to inform you that I have never been diagnosed with any mental health issues. I mean, I might have some baggage, but it ain't bad enough to send me into somebody's psychiatrist's office. And believe me, if my wife thought I needed to be there, she'd tell me. I can tell you that right now. And she's right back there. So Eleanor, just hold your hand up real quick. There she is. So the truth is, if I needed to see a psychiatrist, she would take me there. So this is not craziness. My weakness, I dare say, is metaphysics.
Yes.
Fortunately, I'm speaking from a podium of a renowned metaphysician, so it's all cool. This situation we are in, Reverend David, is like the one that Noah faced. And if you've not taken your thoughts there, you've been missing something. The waters are rising. You can't be missing that, can you? The waters are rising. That's the situation Noah was faced with. And he was a reluctant servant, but he became a servant. So don't be reluctant. Listen to your metaphysician tell you how to use Noah's example. I mean, the fact of the matter is, when you look scientifically at the situation we're in, you will find that in the annals of geology, there have been many different ice ages. And between them, there were times like this. Okay? This isn't the first time. Now, I don't know if any myths and stories from any of the previous fevers have survived. I said the word fever. The earth we inhabit has a fever. And we know what it's from. It's from an element that starts with the letter C. Can somebody tell me what that is? Carbon is giving the earth a fever. And when, let's think about it this way. If you had an infant near you with a temperature of 103 or 104, what would you do? You would get the fever down, and then you would call for an ambulance. Your first step is to get the fever down. And we haven't mobilized. We're acting like somebody's, making up a story. This is not a story. This is real. This is the life you're living. Earth has a fever, and we're going to bring it down. Who else is there to bring it down? Nobody. And there is a specific group of believers known as, well, I'll get to that. You are part of a New Thought, progressive Christian movement. You know the power of consciousness to change the circumstances of your life. You've discovered that you are a co-creator of what shows up in your life. You've discovered that you are not a victim, that somewhere in you there are thoughts and feelings that are drawing the experiences that you have day to day. You know it.
That's right.
You would not be coming here repeatedly week after week if you did not know that was the truth. You would have abandoned this congregation for another, but you keep coming. So you know that you have the consciousness and you have the discipline to utilize that consciousness to bring forth your highest aspirations.
Yes.
You know that. I'm proud of you for sticking to what you know, for supporting a ministry that believes in you.
Yes.
So I'm just asking you to add the earth to your calling. Add it. It's critical. There's some other things that I know, and this is from experience. Since 2018, I have been circulating among climate activists throughout this community. I've been fortunate enough, Redfern, to engage in a demonstration against Colonial Pipeline. Can you believe that? Fortunate enough. On March the 11th, I and a small group, about 8 people, showed up at a place that some of you have heard about, but most of you have not. The place is called Tank Town. And Tank Town is literally hundreds of acres with hundreds of oil storage tanks. Do you know how big a storage tank is? The sucker holds 100,000 gallons of jet fuel or premium gas or regular gas or diesel fuel or home heating fuel. And the tankers, day after day, all day long, they are driving up to Tank Town, which is in a part of the community called Paw Creek, P-A-W,
That's right.
Paw Creek.
I know where that is.
Okay? And the tankers keep coming, and they are the ones that take the gasoline to the airports. They take the gasoline to all the service stations that you use. Okay? All the brands that you use. It's right there at Tank Town. You ought to just drive out to Paw Creek and just check out how big this installation is. Because the oil from Texas is piped through Atlanta, through Charlotte, through New Jersey, to the harbor of New York City. Look, we're right where we need to be to make the points we need to make. And so I was just as thrilled as I could be to be standing with other climate activists protesting the continued use of fossil fuel. And you know who is against us? Name it. Mobil, Exxon, okay? All of them. Shell, BP, all of them. So, in addition, there are big insurance companies. The insurance companies have to be involved. Nobody in that business can build anything without being insured. Furthermore, they can't build anything without getting money from Bank of America. You see all the links? That is why it is difficult to stop the growth of the fossil fuel industry. It's because it is linked to some of the biggest, richest institutions and most powerful institutions in the world. Now, some of them, including like Shell, have begun to feel the pressure and to change where they invest their dollars. But the big ones in America haven't changed a lick. And we know from someone called Frederick Douglass, power only yields to other power. Okay? Walking around with a banner or with a big poster isn't going to get Bank of America to stop investing $3 billion in the newest pipeline. We are not getting anybody's attention, but we're feeling good because at least we were on the front line. Yes. You understand? Yes. I know the front line has to change. I know where the front line needs to be. Because climate activists, and I've seen this and felt this personally, by being in the presence of climate activists who are teenagers and those who are my age. I mean, I've seen them filled with despair because some institute or some university or some scientist had said, it's too late. Can you believe that? Scientists are actually saying they have evidence that we cannot move fast enough to keep the earth from burning up. That's what some of them are saying. And naturally, young people will feel the despair. And I've seen older people feel the despair. Why are they feeling it? It's because they don't know what you know. When you develop a vision, you don't ever put any how-to statements in the vision. Never. There ain't no how-to statement up in your vision. Why? Because you don't know what God knows. Its infinite intelligence is available to all of us. And some of us need to start doing more serious meditations to draw forth the knowledge that is needed. Continue your discipline of meditation. Have your hands open, your hearts open, your minds open to receive what you're looking for. So when you go to God and say, Father, Mother, God, I am looking for answers. And then sit with a clear mind and open heart so that you might receive the blessings you have solicited. Be faithful. And don't worry about what age you are. I remember way back in the 60s when I was introduced to a guy named W.E.B. Du Bois and introduced to Frederick Douglass. I read their life stories and I realized that they were old men that, changed their roles, their activities throughout their lives. So I might be 78, but I ain't finished yet. No. My family will tell you I am concentrating on spiritual blessings. Definitely. I do spiritual reading every morning, meditate every morning, meditate every night. And I'm like you. Some of my best inspiration happens in the morning when I am waking. And I want you to pay attention to the fragments of dreams that come through to you when you're awaking. Stay right where you are. Don't move an eyelash. Implore God to bring forth the wisdom that was part of that dream. Stay in that position, prone on that bed. Don't change positions. Just open your mind and open your heart to receive what has already been given to you. You just don't know how to interpret it. Reverend David, am I telling the truth yet? You can receive answers. You can begin to hold the climate activists close to your heart and in your prayers and meditations so that they might not lose heart. Pray for climate activists all over the world. There are millions of them. And here is the underlying strength that I want to bring to your attention. I don't know of any other group of people around the globe who agree on the vision of what they want to experience more than these climate activists. Because all of them want one thing: to experience an earth whose temperatures are falling, period. I'm telling you, there are millions of climate activists who want and need you to agree with their vision of success. You don't have to know anything else. You know that a vision held by a collective such as yourself and this congregation is a more powerful vision than an individual's vision by itself. You know that. Help climate activists all over the world by displaying and demonstrating the true power of your faith, of your high consciousness. You can make all the difference. I'm spending my time reaching out to progressive Christians and New Thought denominations all over the world to get them to use their considerable spiritual power to bring forth falling temperatures for our wonderful earth. Yes. When you meditate, when you come to church to worship, let your worship be a time of augmenting peace. Let your worship time, just once a week, be the time when you sit and embrace the vision of your earth dropping its temperatures everywhere. The earth is responsive to you. Why? Because this infinite being we call the Creator is everywhere. It is in every speck of dirt. It is in the earth. There is not a space where God is not. Not one. Our consciousness is part of its consciousness. Its consciousness is what we use. Without its consciousness, we would have no consciousness. Am I still telling the truth? Yes. So, a simple affirmative prayer will do. Father, Mother God, I know in my heart that climate activists like me are experiencing an earth whose temperatures are falling. Thank you, God. And so it is. How simple is that? We can do that. Those of you who are moved by this appeal may secure a text of this message by texting me at my telephone number, 704-999-7915. And then I will text you back the complete message that you've heard today. I also encourage you to visit a website that I'm a part of. It's called Peace Centers International. So the website is peacecentersinternational.org. So
And your phone number again?
it's 704-999-7915.
Okay.
Hey! The man with the power. You know how the people who have the pen had the power? The people with the digits have the power now. He's got digital universe under control. Outstanding. So I am blessed to have been with you, and at this time, I'm told that I should bring forth another song. So these wonderful musicians are going to get us started with a song that you know. So if you're bold enough, you can come forth and add to it. Who made the mountains? Who made the trees? Who made the rivers flow to the sea? Who sends the rain when the earth is dry? Somebody bigger than you and I. Who made the flowers bloom in the spring? Who wrote the song for the robin to sing? Who hung the moon in the starry sky? Somebody bigger than you and I. He lights the way when the road is long, company with gives me courage to go on from there? Who gives me faith that will never die? Somebody bigger than you or I. He lights the way when the road is long, keeps you company with love to guide you. He walks beside you just like he walks with me. Oh, when I'm weary, filled with despair, who gives me courage to go on and on and on from there? And who gives me faith that will never die? Somebody, 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 somebody bigger than I.
That's beautiful. Wow. You don't know how long it's been since I've just sat down and been ministered to. I was like a sponge just taking it all in.
Wow.
So beautiful.
Did
So
you write
beautiful.
that song too?
No, that's an old song from my childhood.
Mahalia did that.
Oh my
Hey, you
God.
Jackson.
She did back in the 50s.
Well, you did it justice.
You sure did. Oh,
Wow.
let me just catch my breath for just a
Oh,
minute.
wow.
So beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. We will prepare at this time to give our offerings and tithes to support HeartLight and the vision of HeartLight. We have a lot to contemplate today about consciousness becoming action. People are rich, that I know anyway, with ideas. But somehow the idea doesn't get into action because we're blocked in the solar plex of ourselves, which is the fire. Have you heard of fire in the belly?
I don't think Lawrence is blocked.
No. And we must not be blocked. In my opinion, Lawrence is here to tell us that we need to be a part of this new consciousness activism. I agree. I mean, I love that the people are out there with their signs and their whatever. Let them do what they're doing. But behind the scene is always about consciousness.
Amen.
I've tried to teach you, matter cannot change matter. Only energy of consciousness can repattern matter. So let us become more aware of our meditations here and visualizations is toward more active consciousness. So much so that it pulls us up out of our seats and our complacencies and see where our passion leads us. Just as Lawrence has found these different places that he has joined himself to, there are places for you. And let your passion take you there. This is a crucial time. A crucial time. All right, we will take our offering. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive. For I know as I give, it shall be returned. I send forth this gift with my blessings and with my love. And so it is. I'm thinking of a little song while we're taking this offering that came to me. I don't know if you... I see a new heaven. I see a new earth. The old one has all passed away. And gone are the old ways. All things are now new. For God is creating a new world in me. I see a new heaven, and I see a new earth. The old ones shall all pass away, and gone are the old ways. All things are now